Warning, if you don't want to discover how you can ethically steal the breakthrough new method I leveraged to go from...
Want to know the most common mistake men make when approaching women, but have no clue they're making it? See, every time a guy...
We're A-Game, a 100% Black-owned company with an all-natural product and world-class customer service. We're headquartered in California, and we manufacture, package, and ship right here in the United States. We ship to more than 125 distributors worldwide. Normal processing is 2 to 3 days, and we employ virtual tracking until our product is received. So, no matter where you are in the world, here we come, and we're bringing your A-game.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform, man. Much love. Much love. I appreciate all the love and the support. Salute to everybody that's in the building right now. If you are tuned in, make sure you hit the like button, man. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in, man. First thing you should do is hit the like button. Hit the like button. After you hit the like button, make sure you share the show. Share this show, man. It's very important that you share this show. Share it on your community tab. Anywhere that you share videos. Make sure you share this video. Share it on your Twitter. Anywhere that you share videos, man. It's be very much appreciated. Those are the first two ways you support the stream. Like the stream. Share the stream. This is your first time here. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV, man. And last but definitely not least, make sure y'all financially support the show. Make sure y'all financially support the show. You could do so by going to CashApp $Sheep Stay Sleep TV. That's CashApp $Sheep Stay Sleep TV is where you can go. At any time during the stream you would like to donate, it's at the top left-hand corner of the screen. Make sure you financially support the show. If you got any questions, any comments you would like me to acknowledge, put it through with your super chat, and I will post them, man. All other donation links are in the chat room. Any other way you would like to donate, the link is in the chat room, man. I appreciate all the love and the support. Shout out to the masculine mercenaries, man. Salute to all my masculine mercenaries, man. Salute to everybody who support this platform. Y'all see today's title, man. Y'all see today's title. Unleash your masculine monster. Unleash your masculine monster. Now, what made me come up with this is I noticed, and I don't know if it could just be me, you know, some people say that I'm very abrasive in my assessments, but my assessment of a lot of black men today, a lot of black men here in the cyber world, and just for the most part, a lot of us brothers, man, we have not yet tapped into that part of us that made us who we supposed to be. That is your masculine monster. A lot of us brothers is really not on our purpose, and we're not seeking to live within our purpose. This is why we haven't been able to tap into unleashing that masculine monster, man. And we are in the times today where masculinity is rare. It is very rare. Very rare. Masculinity is being demonized. It's being considered toxic. It's being something that's considered something that the world doesn't need anymore. They are trying to find a way to slowly but surely extract masculinity out of society. And to all the men who are listening right now, to all the men who will be listening to this playback, to any man who will ever listen to this one day, understand that if you are a masculine man, if you consider yourself to be a straight heterosexual man, and I have to preface straight, and it's not because I have anything against men who are not straight. Whatever your preference is, that's what you do. But there is a specific type of masculinity that they are trying to extract out of society. And that form of masculinity is heterosexual masculinity. Because I know some masculine dudes who are not straight, who are not heterosexual, but they are masculine men. Like, they still operate and carry themselves as men. They just choose to deal with who they deal with sexually. So what I'm speaking on that's endangered, that they're trying to extract out of society, is heterosexual masculinity. When you hear them speak on toxic masculinity, they are speaking on straight men who are masculine. So if you are a straight man and you consider yourself masculine, because just because you straight don't mean you masculine. Let's get that straight too. Don't think because you're a heterosexual man that automatically grants you masculinity. No. But if you consider yourself to be a straight masculine man, you have to understand that there are active forces that are against men like us. You have to understand that these forces are going to be operating through any and everything in society. That is your women. That is municipalities, like institutions. You're going to deal with this misandrous type of stuff. You're going to be judged. You're going to be looked at in a certain way. People are going to receive you in a certain way, and it's not going to be something that's pleasurable. You see? So what we have to do is we have to begin to tap into our purpose. That is what is going to actually shape and mold how you going to use your masculinity for your benefit while you're here on earth. You see? And we're going to get into the clip with Jordan Peterson on the Joe Rogan show, where he spoke on unleashing the masculine monster. But see, as we know, Jordan Peterson, the way he speaks on the masculine monster is he's speaking from it from a carnal standpoint. See, you have to understand. See, this is not about judging other men. This is about understanding who they are. And the base nature of most Caucasian men is carnal, is war. So when he speaks on the masculine monster, he's speaking on men dealing in brutality, men being brutes, the whole mindset of what's wrong with, men being big and strong and overpowering people, and what is wrong with that? See, when I speak on the masculine monster, I'm speaking from a purpose standpoint, and not just a physical purpose standpoint, but a ideological standpoint. Like, tap into the true essence of yourself. It's 2021. It is no longer not cool to not be you. See, this is another reason why I did yesterday's show. I didn't do yesterday's show just to go off and do all of that like y'all thought. See, there's always a method to my madness. See, this is why I'm saying capping is life for a lot of y'all, because y'all are afraid to tap into the essence of yourselves. Y'all are afraid to be who y'all really want to be. You see? You'll never unleash that masculine monster if you keep running around here living a aimless and purposeless life. You're always seen to be weak. You'll always you'll never be respected by certain women. You'll never be respected by certain men. You'll never be respected by the youth because you're living a aimless and purposeless life. And if you're living a aimless and purposeless life, you cannot properly exude masculinity to younger men because they're not going to have nothing to respect you for. Because what young men look for in older men is they look for, what is this older dude about? Yeah, they look at your clothes. Yeah, they look at your car, but they want to know, what are you about? What is this dude about? Is he just some corny dude that could dress and got a nice car? You see? This is what we have to be about as men, as masculine men. Now, I'm on my purpose. I'm on my purpose. Then why are you still going around having aimless conversations with women if you are on your purpose? You see, you haven't tapped into yourself yet. You still playing around. And you have to understand what it takes. It may take you having to cut certain people off. You might have to stop hanging with certain dudes. You might have to stop dealing with certain types of chicks. Because sometimes it may take you dealing with a certain chick for you dealing with her and the things that she have to offer you. Now you done took what you had to do to the next level. But if you was still messing with Bust It Baby, this is why a lot of you dudes stay stuck and y'all don't unleash your true potential. Because you staying stuck with busted babies. You keep busting nuts in busted babies. Every time you get close to getting somewhere, you having another child. And you not having children with progressive women. So this is holding you back. This is putting a halt on you being focused on what you need to be focused on. Because now you done had a new baby by another lost chick that you got to teach, that you got to argue with, that you got to school over and over again. But this is your fault because you keep having children with low-hanging fruit. See, a lot of you dudes stay stuck and you can't unleash because your homeboys is bozos. Your homeboys ain't got nothing going on and you keep hanging around them and you keep thinking that you're so much different than them. You know, a lot of you dudes walk around like that. Y'all walk around with your homeboys and act like y'all so much different than them. Oh yeah, well, my homeboys, you know, they ain't about shit, but I'm about all that shit. I'm about everything. Then why are you hanging with them? You might not totally be a bozo, but you got some bozo in you because you hanging around them dudes. And the reason why you hanging around them is the same reason why you are stagnant. You are constantly being counterproductive because you around counterproductive dudes. You are around men who choose to stay spiritually defeated. Because a lot of you dudes, y'all get with the wrong women and y'all stay stuck in a rut for years. 15, 20 years, y'all stay stuck because of one wrong decision. You let that woman keep you from unlocking your true potential. Because you don't know how to accept that being a man is making mistakes. And being a man is making real big mistakes sometimes. This is something I had to learn. Because everybody's hard on men, but a lot of people don't realize just how hard men are on themselves. You see? So a lot of us get caught and be stuck psychologically like, damn, how did I let this happen? Damn, how did I let it happen again? And dudes stay stuck. And then you lose focus of your purpose. You lose track of where you exactly plotted your life to go. But you have to understand that this is the journey, man. It's a journey. Along the way, you're going to make big mistakes, man. But those mistakes that you're making should be lessons in discovering who you are and discovering the people were that were around you. You see? Don't be afraid to be who it is that you feel in your heart you were destined to be. See? Shout out to my OG, man. Shout out to the Gloves Off show. He said, finally caught you. I'm listening to you with my client. She can't believe other men think like this. Salute, Doc. I appreciate you. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to the Gloves Off show, man. That's my OG. That's where I get my game from. The real game, the realism. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the Gloves Off show, fellas. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the Gloves Off show right now. Hit that link right now. Make sure y'all go subscribe. And brothers, you got to understand that your purpose is bigger than what anyone else tell you you should be. Stop letting, I've done numerous shows telling brothers to stop letting people define who you are. And that includes women. That includes them. See, when you're with your woman, y'all are in a relationship. She don't make you. You should be who you are at that time and working to be better while you're with her. You're not with her to impress her. See, this is what you brothers don't realize. And this is why I agree with the whole concept that Jordan Peterson was talking about, because what I gathered from what he was saying was he was telling men that men, you have to be unapologetically who you are. You have to not apologize for you living the life in which you live. You thinking in the ways that you think. See, because that's one thing I'm in relationships, that's something women really try to shame me for. They try to shame me for the way that I think. They try to put me in the misogynist bag, the sexist bag, and see, all of those things is what Jordan Peterson was saying is keeping men from unleashing that masculine monster. Because when you're demonized like that, it makes you shameful for feeling the way you feel. It makes you shameful for thinking the way that you think in the manner that you do about yourself. See, that type of stuff has been happening to me since I was a young boy, where you're shamed into submission. When the things that you say is not appreciated and not acknowledged. So it makes you think you're nothing. What you saying is null and void. Like, oh, nigga, please. See, I've been getting that response since I was young. Like, oh, nobody ain't listening to you. And there's a lot of men that have dealt with things like that since we were boys. So what it does is it keeps men away from truly expressing who they are. And that affects the goddamn world. That affects the world. You see? Because that is what we supposed to go out and do as men. I'm supposed to affect change in society amongst other men. If that's what I say my purpose is. I'm not supposed to be ashamed. I'm not supposed to be ashamed of that. I shouldn't be told that's what I shouldn't be doing. I should be doing something else. But we're told that because what? Most of us come from the gynocracy. Most of us black men now, I'm speaking on black men. We come from the gynocracy, which is the black matriarchy in cahoots with the white patriarchy. So in order for us not to come back and to restore proper order in society, from young, we must keep that monster tamed, caged, locked in. This is why you get random acts of violence from young men. This is why you get a lot of hyper masculinity, because a lot of us, our masculinity were suppressed. We were shamed and beat into submission to not be men, to be afraid to speak up for ourselves, to be afraid to defend ourselves as men. This is why you hear these women get up on these panels and talk to men in the manner that they do, because they understand that the majority of Black men are used to being spoken to that way. And they think by speaking to Black men like this, it will put them in a submissive state. And see, our problem, brothers, is we won't understand this shit and come together and do something about it. Shout out to Ebo Sosa, man. Salute. He say following suit. Cook. Salute, family. Shout out to the Thriller, man. He said fire. Appreciate you. See, that's why I get on y'all brothers' asses. Because instead of us coming together and creating Voltron, we choose to just sit back and think we can deal with the problem individually. You cannot root out a problem. You can't individually root out a systematic problem. You cannot do that. You can't. You have to combat systems with systems. You see? This is why I said I did the show, find your lane and stay there. Because that'll be the role in which you play in the system that we're using to combat the system that is attacking us, which is the gynocracy. This is why you hear me say we our own agency. See, you got to understand that our enemy understand what lies beneath us. What the hell do y'all think X-Men? What do you think the whole comic book, all of that stuff, who do you think they're talking about? See, I'm gonna get a little esoteric real quick. Who do you think who do you think Marvel's talking about? DC is talking about? Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat. Morality versus non-morality. Mortal Kombat. Two opposing spiritual systems. Who do you think they're talking about in X-Men? Who do you think Wolverine represents? The man who could heal his own wounds. Who do you think they're depicting? that they're depicting? They're depicting us, brothers. They're showing the world the powers that lie beneath in us that they want to keep locked up. That's why they build jails. They cage our bodies because they know we don't know how to tap into our minds. You see? You see? And you think our goddamn women don't know? You think our women don't know the power that lies within us? They know when we busting nuts up in them. They can feel your essence. See, your woman know if you a strong man when she know. I ain't gonna get into details, but the women that's listening, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know when you got a jelly back dude. You know when he up in you, if he a jelly back. And I'm not talking about just how he have sex. I'm talking about his energy when he up in there. I ain't talking about a nigga who could just perform sexually. Y'all women know what I'm talking about. Y'all know when a dude ain't really like that. Y'all know a dude's essence. This why I be laughing when a lot of these chicks be calling y'all out, because a lot of them be on point. On some real shit, I'm just team men because I'm men first. I'm about men's right activism. I'm about that. But this is why I tell you dudes, stay away from that shit and focus on you. See, because that's the only way you are going to unleash the masculine monster. That's the only way. You're not going to do that worrying about how much money you need to make a year to impress her. That's not going to unleash the masculine monster. Worrying about how cute you got to look for her. Worrying about you having a fly whip to impress her, even though most of these broads take goddamn Uber. They live in a goddamn Uber. But you got to drive the flyest whip for her, even though she's Uber living. You got to make sure you buy the nice jewelry to impress her, even though she shop on wish.com. See, worrying about this type of low-level, chaotic bullshit, you'll never unleash that masculine monster. See, the reason why other groups of men can unleash, because that's what they focus on. They focus on tapping in. Every day, they doing shit to tap in. They're doing things that's speaking to what it is and where it is they want to go. That's what they're focused on. They're not focused on buying a Birkin bag. They're not focused on Valentine's Day and what you want. They're not focused on that shit. They wake up every day putting in work. To do what? To unleash that masculine monster. Shout out to Heels In. Appreciate you, family. Salute. Shout out to my brother, the Book of Rona. He say, proud of you, bro. Cook. Appreciate you, bro. And some of you brothers, you just got to be honest, man. You got to be honest. You know some of the things that you have to do to unleash. See, and we gonna get into that after I play this video. It's real quick. I'm gonna play the video with Jordan Peterson on the Joe Rogan podcast where he was talking about this. And then we gonna get into some solutions on, you know, what it is you have to do, what it is that I've realized that I have to do. So let's get into this video real quick, and then we're going to get into some solutions, and then we're going to wrap this show up, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. If y'all enjoying the show, make sure y'all donate to the show. Cash App $SheepStaySleepTV is where y'all can go. Cash App $SheepStaySleepTV is where y'all can go. Shout out to everybody who's been donating so far. I appreciate all the love and the support, man. Y'all make sure y'all financially support the show. So let's get into this video.
But the young men really need to hear this more, I think, is that you should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
Do you know the expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war?
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. And so when I tell young men that, they think, well, lots of them are competitive. They're low in agreeableness, you know, because that's part of being competitive temperamentally. It's like, is there something wrong with being competitive? There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with cheating. There's something wrong with being a tyrant. There's something wrong with winning unfairly. All of those things are bad. But you don't want people to win? What's the difference between trying to win and striving? You want to eradicate striving?
Now, what do y'all think of that? What do y'all think of that? Because there's one thing that he said. He said, do you want to eradicate winning? Do you want to eradicate the competitiveness of men? This is what I was speaking on earlier, how they are trying to extract masculinity out of society. This is what Jordan Peterson was just talking about. You want men to be virtuous, harmless, meek. He's saying that they're trying to extract the essence of what being a man is out of men. That is a problem. They don't want young men to compete anymore. Shout out to the Crimson Cure. Appreciate you. Much love. Yes, he is. He's talking about the concept of masculinity being spoken about as toxic. Exactly. Exactly. And I was talking about that in the beginning of the show. And that is a problem. Because, and how we know this is a problem, because the same women, right? The same women who says, you guys are horrible. You guys just don't know how to be men. Y'all are just tyrants. Y'all are crazy. You know what y'all been hearing lately around here in this space? Where they're trying to, where they're actually just trying to browbeat you into submission. They're just trying to shame you into submission to make you feel bad about your nature. This is what they do now. This is how they convince young boys to not compete, to not be masculine. Because in order to compete, or what gives you the incentive to compete, is your masculinity. That's what your competitive edge in nature is based on. Your masculine prowess. They don't want men to have this anymore. And you know how you give this away, fellas? By giving the most precious resource, shout out to Dr. E. Harlan Scott, which is time. When you give all of your time to bullshit. Shout out to Dr. Holman. Our values have been replaced with bullshit. So we give too much of our time to bullshit. Things that are based in bullshit. We give our time to entertainment. Too much. And this keeps the monster caged in. This also makes the monster weaker inside the cage because you're not feeding them nothing to keep them strong. See? See, they want you to be virtuous and shameful about who you are. So when you do express your masculinity, it's bitchy. It's moist. It's fragile. It's unsure. This is how you get women now. You see women dragging men around Walmart. What you want? Make up your mind. You always unsure. This is how you see the role reversed. She got to be a de facto man because this man's masculine monster is now a kitten. It's a kitten that's in a cage now. It's not a beast. It's a kitten. Because he done been effeminized through the gynocracy and through gynocratic media. Like media takeout. Shouldn't no man be reading that shit. That's all feminine stuff. Chaos. If you're not reading that to prove a point about something, that's all hogwash, man. That shit weakens you as a man. Sitting there being engulfed in that shit. But the way we change this, yes, sir, that's a fact. That's a fact, Lord. That's a fact, Lord. I ain't even going to repeat it, but that's a fact. I see your comment. But how we change this, a solution to this is this right here. Let me pull it up. Y'all give me a second. And I'm going to pull this right up. Share my screen. This is how we change this. Do y'all see what this says? Do y'all see what this says? Let me take my band off so y'all can see it. Masculine energy in relationships, systems, order, and structure. System, order, structure. This is what we're looking at here. The first step is employing a new value system for yourself, brothers. See, we understand what order and structure is, but a lot of us, when we see this, we don't understand systems. The system that we're speaking on to combat the gynocracy, we must employ a new value system. That value system is the 10 life value system. That's what the system is that we should be employing in order to combat what it is we're dealing with. So when we speaking on unleashing the masculine monster, first we must start with our spiritual value. And don't look at the masculine monster as it being something negative, because you know when you hear monster and masculine connected to it, that automatically sends a red flag to the gynocracy. But don't let it send a red flag to you unless you're a gynocrat. But first, you must identify what is your spiritual value. What do you think of yourself? How much or how well or how bad do you think of yourself? Write it down. Remember, I always spoke on taking self-inventory. This is the proper way you do it, through the 10 life values. But when you're speaking on the making and the breaking of a man, we're speaking on the first 5, which is called the internal 5. See, the making of a man and the breaking of a man starts with those first 5 values. See, you have to understand that. It starts there. Those first 5 values is spiritual value, health value, family value, appearance value, and dwelling value. Those things right there, those 5 areas is where you can address the issues with you tapping in to that masculine monster. And it first starts with what you think of yourself. That's your spiritual value. What is your connection to God if you believe in God? This is your spiritual value. How important you are to you. Then next you have health value. How important is your well-being physically and mentally? Because there's a lot of black men who are in shape. There's a lot of black men who are out of shape. But the shape that we really need to be focused on is our mental and our emotional. Because a lot of us make bad decisions based on emotional immaturity. We put ourselves in bad positions because of emotional immaturity. So we need to deal with a lot of our mental health just as our physical health. Now, this is how you can assess your issues, brothers. Well, what's going on with you? Why you can't tap in? Is it a health issue? Is it your health that may be holding you back? Is it how you see yourself? Is it your family? Is it your family? Is it the conditions of where you live? Because sometimes your environment dictates just how much resources you are near. You might have to move to have more resources so you can have a better chance at unleashing what it is you want to unleash. Is it an appearance thing? Is it how you look? But we know how you look is going to be based on how you feel. And how you feel is based on how you see yourself. Because if you always see yourself as being a piece of trash, as being a maggle, as being a failure, that's how you're going to look in your face. You may not look like that in your clothes, but that's how you're going to look in your face. That's how you're going to come across in your attitude. So that is a practical method on how you can first see that your masculine monster is locked up. And then you can find that is how you unleash it, by going through those internal 5 of the 10 life value system. You address your spiritual value, you address your health value, your family value, your appearance value, and your dwelling value. The internal 5 of the 10 life values is where a man is built and where a man is broken. Pay attention to that. Those 5 values I just named is where a man is built and where a man is broken. Understand that. So if your masculine monster is locked away, it is locked away because in one of those 5 areas, you got a lot of work to do. Or in a couple of those areas, you have work to do, brothers. So that is how you do it. I'm going to play the video one more time, and then we're going to wrap this show up, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate y'all. Financially support the platform, man. CashApp $SHEEPSTAYSLEEPTV, man. I appreciate you if you have supported. If you enjoyed the show, support the show, man. I appreciate it.
But the young men really need to hear this more, I think, is that you should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
Do you know the expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war?
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. And so when I tell young men that, they think, well, lots of them are competitive. They're low in agreeableness, you know, because that's part of being competitive temperamentally. It's like, is there something wrong with being competitive? There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with cheating. There's something wrong with being a tyrant. There's something wrong with winning unfairly. All of those things are bad. But you don't want people to win? What's the difference between trying to win and striving? You want to eradicate striving?
Now, before we wrap this up, I want to let you brothers know that's tuned into this show. Do not, bros, do not take what you heard today and spew it at any of these chicks on YouTube. Let me go ahead and make that disclaimer. Do not think that what you heard today is going to move any gynocrat on here. Okay? Because a gynocrat's job is to break a young boy from the time he's able to say what he wants. That is her job. Because what? They are trying to kill that masculine monster that Jordan Peterson was just speaking on. That's why some of us, when we grew up, stop being so rough. Why you always trying to win? Why you mad because you ain't win? You can't win everything. Your mama is extracting that masculine monster out of you. See? So, brothers, don't go around here spewing that shit, because the majority of these women is not raising their sons in the proper way because they don't understand or ever dealt with true masculine men. This is something Pimp God and Dr. E. Harlan Scott talk about a lot. And that's a fact. They haven't dealt with unapologetically masculine men. They haven't. So do not, don't go around spewing this shit thinking that it's going to mean something, because it's not. Because it's not. This is for us. We are our own agency. Us. We are our own agency, brothers. We are our own agency, man. So shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in this afternoon. I'm not going to keep y'all much longer. Y'all make sure y'all check out my last upload. Go and check that out. I did an upload on understanding friendship and business. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. I uploaded that a couple of hours ago. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. Also, brothers, join this A-game lifestyle, man. Join this A-game lifestyle, because y'all do know that this episode on Sheep Stay Sleep TV is sponsored by A-game, which is a herbal male solution. This is a solution for men. It's a solution for us, brothers. It is a herbal male solution. So it's for our health. Remember I said where a man is made and where a man is broken. Health value is number 2. So join this A-game lifestyle, man. We are promoting optimal health for men. This supplement helps with our energy, our vitality, our libido, and our strength. And our strength, fellas. Get down in the description box. Hit that link. At checkout, type in promo code SHEEP and the number 10. That's SHEEP and the number 10 as your promo code to get a discount off on your purchase. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Much love, man. Shout out to the Masculine Mercenary. Shout out to everybody who support this platform. I appreciate the love and the support. Shout out to you if you donated. Shout out to you if you hit the like button. If you haven't yet, make sure you do so. Make sure you share the show. DS1 Ross, man, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Hey guys, this is Spanky Hayes, and I want to say something, whether it's comedy, acting, or just in general real life. I use my A game. I gotta have the A game. I pack in every pocket. I got one pill in every pocket, and every pair of pants I got. Listen, entertaining y'all is hard sometimes. I gotta fly to Dallas, then to Denver, then to New York, then to LA, then to Detroit. Come on, man. That tires me out. I just take the A game now. I don't have that problem no more. I usually barely don't sleep because I'm entertaining y'all. I'm in the studio all night with the A game. And trust me, when I come home from the studio, my woman gets to feel the real pleasure of the A game. You see, I'm smiling. Watch this. Hey, baby.
Hey, babe.
Guess what I just took? What? A game, A game, A game, A game. I'm gonna meet you upstairs, all right?